Hello and welcome to Flippin Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. And today, we're flipping through Mad Magazine number 49, released September 1959. Our price, 25 cents, which is indeed cheap. But before we do that, let me first say thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Make sure that you hit like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment at some point below. Leave below a comment at some point during this video. If you want to support me in another way, patreon.com/flippinthrough. You get a 6 set of stickers. You get, wait, where's the stencil? I lost it. Here it is. You get this awesome Alfred E. Newman stencil, and you get my thanks at the beginning of each and every video. These are the people I get to thank right now. Misimo, David Strickler, Megan McInerney, Shane Buckley, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Rob Wilson, Rod Mead Sperry, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Little Cozy Nostril. Thank you guys so much for the support. I hope I can keep on earning it. Remember, patreon.com/flippinthrough. Enough of that. Let's go back to the overhead. Let's get me back in here. That's right. How charming is that? Infinitely charming. Mad Magazine number 49. What a beautiful, beautiful cover by none other than Kelly Freas. I said Kelly Freas. Anyway, want to cool off? Sit on this copy of Mad. And it's an ice cube. In this issue, Sid Caesar. Sidney Caesarian. That's what his family calls him. Anyway, oh, look at this is where I stole it from. That's where I get all of my inspiration is Mad Magazine. This is a cool cover. It's like of this era, the 1960s. I don't know. They all look great. I think the painted covers are awesome. When I talked to Andrew Goldfarb about Freaky Magazine, like one thing that he really wanted to do with his magazine is have painted covers every single time. And he's been successful with that. So let's get on in here. Here's a Bell Systems telephone ad. Stop pushing. You'll all get a chance to talk to Grandma. Don't understand it. Don't understand the reference. I am kind of, I've been thinking a lot about an idea that Kyle Bridget had, which is to make a coffee table book with the Mad ad, and then the original ad side by side. I thought that's so cool. In fact, I took partial credit for that idea and partial ownership immediately. Mad, one sure way parents can keep their teenage daughters out of hot water is to put some dishes in it. Listen, sometimes they're clever, other times they're dumb as hell. I think that this one falls into the latter category. I'm gonna because I now do that thing where I read ahead. I am unable to do my my prediction, which is a little bit of a bummer because I always did enjoy that, but it wouldn't really be a very sincere prediction, would it, if I have already read through the entire magazine? And I'm going to tell you, the art in this, there are some bangers, guys. It's in the 1960s, I think any issue of Mad Magazine that you open up, you're going to find some beautiful, beautiful stuff. I wanted to talk about this one. Who is he? In your recent straitjacket ads, 2 of the 3 fellows are always facing the camera, while the third always has his back to the camera. Who is this third fellow? And what does he look like? He looks dreamy from the back. Margie Parvy, Puddin' Plum. This is the Mad Straitjacket, which is, I'm not super into collecting all the Mad memorabilia. I just want the magazines. That's it. I get the paperbacks. I'll pick up a super special. Magazines is all I care about. The only Mad merchandise that I truly am desirous of is the Mad Straitjacket. I want one, and I want to wear it. I wouldn't frame it. I would wear it, and I'd wash it, and I'd shrink it, and I'd ruin it. Maybe not those things, but I would wear it from time to time. What does he look like? We can tell you who he is, Marjorie. He's Leonard Brenner, in charge of production, but we can't tell you what he looks like, and mainly because we still haven't seen his face ourselves. Lenny wears a goatee. You'll see it when you turn to the t-shirt ad on the inside back cover. And of course, I ain't gonna make you wait. Look at that stud. Oh my goodness. Look at those legs. God damn, he has some tree trunks. Jeez Louise. Lenny Brenner. Is there any question? Was he a ladies' man? Get out of here. You know it. And then this. Okay, the Mad Records I might also want a little bit too. That's low, real low on the list. Right now it's all about getting that straight jacket. Here we go. So this combines two things that I absolutely love. Mad Magazine and Universal Monsters. Some time ago, Mad number 41, we voiced concern over the dullness of elementary school readers and presented an up-to-date Mad primer. Now, even the Mad primer is outdated. The single most important thing in the lives of youngsters today is watching horror movies. And so, in order to help educate our early grade school kids properly in horror movie appreciation, we feel schools should offer as required reading the Mad Horror Primer. Art by Wallace Wood. Story by Larry Siegel. And I'm going to zoom in on this. I haven't read through all of these. But I knew I had to take a closer look. Let's start with these letters. You get like all these horrible faces, snakes and mummies and stuff. One of my favorites, though, is this one with the werewolf and how it's like he's on his haunches, so it's like he's forming most of the letter M. You have Medusa there for some reason and some goofball vulture. But I think that's probably the best one, I think, out of all of them. But look at, here's the Mars Attacks monsters, which, what is this? Oh, wait, I kept calling this from the 60s. This is from 59. Wait a second. Mars Attacks, that was 1964 that those cards came out. Did Wally Wood, he designed the Mars Attacks monsters. I wonder, was he involved in Mars Attacks monsters? Oh, that would be amazing. Anyway, there was a guy from Minnesota who painted them. Wallace Wood, also from Minnesota. Also from Minnesota, Tom Richmond. Also from Minnesota, me. Coincidence? I think not. Lesson 1. See the man. He is a doctor. He is mixing formulas. Mix, mix, mix. He is also transplanting brains. Transplant, transplant, transplant. The doctor is building a monster. The doctor will make a lot of money with his monster. The doctor will save this money. Soon the doctor will be able to afford to go to medical school. Look at these illustrations, though, by Wally Wood. By Wallace Wood. He doesn't like to be called Wally. Absolutely breathtaking. I mean, not just the all of the stuff all around it, the illustrations on top of these books, the lettering. This is just so wild. See the awful monster. See the bolts in his head. See how he kills people. Kill, kill, kill. The monster likes to kill. Poor, poor monster. The monster is sick. Sick, sick, sick. He wants to be cured. The doctor cannot cure the monster. The monster does not belong to Blue Cross. I think I'm going to have to get a photocopy of these and print them out for my kids. Ooh, here we go. My guy, Gilman. This is a girl, as if you couldn't tell. See how her dress is torn? See how pretty she is? Honestly, she's the prettiest old movie star I've ever seen. All right? I'm being serious. Prettier than Doris Day. Yes, I said it. See how her dress is torn. See how pretty she is. Pant, pant, pant. Listen to her scream. Eek, eek, eek. The doctor loves this girl. The monster loves this girl. The director hates the girl. She is a terrible actress. Even the monster is more articulate. That's not true. She was a good actress. See the other girl. She is a little girl. She is not so pretty. Her dress is not torn. The monster will kidnap the little girl. She will also scream, eek, eek, eek. She is also a terrible actress, but she has an excuse. She is only 8 years old. Then again, she is lucky. She can always make a living writing horror movies. And it goes on with just hilarious writing, amazing illustrations. See the strange vegetable. I seriously do want to like turn this into a little book for my kids. Oh, the ape. This is This is the Empire State Building. See the ape climb the Empire State Building. The ape hates to ride elevators. Hate, hate, hate. Soon he'll be attacked by planes. They will be Spads and Fokkers. They will be left over from old World War I movies. But his son will carry on with his work. Being an ape is more exciting than being an accountant. Look at, there's a little Moxie Easter egg. Oh my goodness. This is beautiful. See the hairy man. He is a wolf man. When the moon is full, the wolf man prowls. Prowl, prowl, prowl. The victim is usually a young starlet. Woo, woo, woo. After the day's shooting, the wolf man takes off his makeup, and again he goes searching for a young starlet. Off screen, the wolf man is still a wolf. Oh, it's just so good. So, Wally Wood, I looked into it. All right. Now, this is the nice thing about me doing research. Wally Wood, I was wondering, how many appearances does Wallace Wood have? And he worked at Mad Magazine, worked his ass off. Obviously, in the comics, I knew that. From issue 1 in, 1952, all the way up to issue 90 in 1964. Why did he stop? I looked into that because he lived for 20 more years, but did not work for Mad, didn't contribute anything to Mad Magazine. So I found a little thing explaining it on tomorrows.com, and I think this is a collection from a book or something that they're just republishing. So, adding to his troubles, Wood suffered from terrible headaches. One assistant remembered him calling it his never-ending headache. He began drinking even more to dull the pain, but that just made things worse. Eventually, it began to affect his art. In 1964, Mad's editor rejected one of his stories, Wood's first rejection, since he had helped to launch the Mad comic book in 1952. Angry and humiliated, Wood quit. In an ironic twist, the editor who rejected the story was Al Feldstein, the very man who, 11 years earlier, had written My World as a loving tribute to Wood. And then this is a quote. I don't know who it's from. It says, Mad sent Woody a rejection slip on a comic strip lampoon, and it about killed him. Yes, the job was covered in liquid paper, but it was great compared to what Bob Clark produced. Excuse me? When I read that the first time, I almost spit on my own floor. Puh. I think the guys at Mad were just kidding around, but it backfired. I stood rooted when Wally called Bill Gaines and quit. Poor Bill. He called many times to try and talk Woody back, but no go. Poor Wally. He threw out his biggest client. The whole affair was sad. No winners. I mean, that's pretty... that's a pretty tragic story. And this is from Alter Ego Volume 3, number 8, written by Michael T. Gilbert. I'll put the link down below. I think I want to read the whole thing. It seems pretty darn interesting, I have to say. But that is tragic. What a sad way to end a career. But also, I mean, if he was hitting the sauce, that doesn't help. I'm not just saying for the art. It doesn't help the mind. You become resentful. You start thinking kind of things that aren't really in line with reality. So it is quite sad, because that's not his only piece in this magazine, in this issue, and it really is quite amazing. Here we have most buildings today employ classic architecture designs, and so you can't really tell if they're banks or schools or hamburger stands. MAD feels that buildings should employ the principle of form follows function. Mainly, they should look like what they are. Here is what a typical business district would look like if MAD's plan were adopted. The buildings all used functional architecture. But wait, wouldn't it be formal architecture? Because you were saying that it should be form. Form follows. Wait. But hold on. Function would be so that the building can operate, whereas form would be how it looks. I'm confused, but I get it. They want buildings to look like what they are. Now this is Dave Berg. Dave Berg, when he was effortful, and you listen. This is kind of fun to look at, and I mainly am going into this because Kyle Bridget had said that basically the only reason I like his old stuff is because I hate his new stuff. Not new stuff, but you know what I'm saying. His the later work, I hate it so much that this I love, and it's not sincere love. And I would say that this is not his best work. I would say that if this were like indicative of all of his old work, that would be somewhat true. Because this is not that. This is like, it's silly and it's fun. Mad Magazine, the sewer. But it isn't great. It's just kind of neat and fun to look at. But this isn't indicative of his old work. His old work is actually a lot more whimsical than that normally. I'm going to go very quickly through this. This is saying half-finished billboards. Billboards, children, used to be put up using wheat paste, and they were printed on a series of longer posters. They weren't just giant pieces of tarpaulin that would be bolted to a billboard. It was put up. So you would have moments like this where like the old billboard and the new billboard were both visible. The scenes we like to see. Some Mort Drucker stuff here. Really interesting to look at Mort Drucker from the 50s because he wasn't drawing as the Mort Drucker we know and love. And there's a couple of those in here. This is a whole lot. This is art by Bob Clark, story by Cyrite, I'm going to call it. It's a lot. It's 3 pages, and I get you kind of have to do this in the 3 pages because you want to hide the punchline. But this is America's dream car, and so you have like this Cadillac, and you have things like reduce octane requirements and increase gas mileage, increase headroom and legroom. Simplify dashboard instruments, redesign body shell to raise doors for better clearance at curbs. All of these things that people want changed on an automobile, and you get this automobile, like one of the classic Fords, right? The Model A, Model T, who knows? Anyway, and here we have some more of the Mort Drucker artwork, Sid Caesar's version of Shrunk World. And I'll tell you, I was like, at the cover, I was kind of confused because I was like, wait, I don't remember Sid Caesar. It's because I don't read movie parodies. And here we have another longtime MAD contributor, like something like 30 plus years, Don Martin, the sculptor, in his studio, and it's just very fun. I don't know, not much to say about it. These are what I wanted to go in a little bit more. Here we have another great Mad magazine artist, and that is George Woodbridge. So these are Mad medals for everyday heroes. The Fearless and Independent Action Medal awarded to Zelda Zitzlaff, housewife of Taft-Hartley, Vermont, for decisive assault. On April 8th, 1959, Miss Zitzlaff took delivery of a new sofa, and when the men left, immediately removed the "Do Not Remove" tags from the cushions. Is that like, that's it's so funny, like, it's such an old joke. I remember there's that in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, they make that joke. And even then, it was an old joke. Here we have heroism on the home front. For valiant self-control, on June 21st, 1959, Mr. Finster dragged out of his lights and equipment and took home movies of his wife and children without once losing his temper. I guess I never really thought how effortful home movies must have been back then. Yeah, to make them turn out. It's like my phone does everything. Disposable of hidden booby traps medal. Mr. Mudge, having purchased a brand new shirt, located and removed every one of the carefully concealed pins before putting it on. This actually reminds me of a booby trap that I tried to place in my father. My father upset me once, and I took, like a little psychopath, I took a screw and I put it in his boot pointed upward and expected him to put it on and have his foot punctured by the screw. It's like a drywall screw. Well, anyway, my father never put those boots on. And years later, I couldn't find my boots. And my mother was making me shovel shovel the driveway or something. So I went downstairs and I put on the boot and I shoved my foot into the boot and onto the point of that drywall screw that I had booby trapped so many years ago. And I remembered it. I was like, what the is this screw doing here? And then it all came back to me. So don't do booby traps. They can backfire. The execution of planned strategy medal. Determination under fire. I'm just going to stop reading this. Listen, this one's okay. But I kind of expected it to be funnier. I apologize. I'm going to skip over that, and I'm going to skip over this, Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. This is art by Mort Drucker. No writing is being claimed by anybody, and it's somewhat amusing. It's the Gettysburg Address as written by, or as spoken by beatniks. A gag that we would see again and again as things were rewritten, as like a Valley Girl or something like that. Now, these I wanted to take a closer look at because this is my friend Bob Clark. I was almost certain I had to look over the microphone to double check. I didn't want to look like an idiot. Bob Clark. These are Mad Specialized Resorts selections. And I love this Bob Clark art, man. This is a great effect, having, showing the double vision of this drunkard rambling towards his room. Get off the wagon, stagger out to Tipsy Inn. Just follow the crooked white line to our door. Spend your summer with us and enjoy lost weekends in the middle of the week. Private still in our wine cellar. Hot and cold running gin in all rooms. Is hot gin something like a hot toddy, I guess? Swimming pool filled with vodka, chug-a-lug contest, mystery drinks, and continuous toasting. Starring Joe E. Lewis, if he can make it. I love this. I love it when Bob Clark draws people moving. I don't know what it is. I just love the way he captures movement, and this one especially is delightful. Rock and Roll Lodge, the hotel exclusively for teenagers, nobody admitted without a black jacket. Teenage bellhops, teenage chambermaids, teenage waiters, teenage house detectives, all rooms with private jukeboxes, special accommodations for parents, athletic director, a guy who once touched Fats Domino's. Athletic director, a guy who once touched Fats Domino. Social director, a guy who once sassed Sam Levinson. Reserved now for Elvis Presley's discharge celebration. And then the Hotel Macabre. You'll love the bizarre atmosphere at Hotel Macabre, an odd and unusual summer resort. Molten lava pool, minced lawns, stretch rack beds, quicksand beach, poisoned meals, and a hot coal dance floor. A private mausoleum on premises. Enjoy all of these horrible sports. Kick the bucket, grave robbing, hide and go, shriek. Woo! I don't know, just very fun. I'm going to zoom out just for a moment because this is another Wallywood piece. Several pages. The Vic Tinney Gyms. A public service to improve America's health. Hey, and boy, do we need it now more than ever. When Vic Tinney started his dedicated campaign to make all America healthy, he was faced with a huge problem: how to get people into a gym. Old-style gyms were unappealing. Vic's answer? The completely redesigned Vic Tinney Gym. Look at this, though. Old-style gyms were dark, dingy, and worst of all, they smelled like dirty sweat socks. So here we have, look at all these buff dudes, all these beefcakes, little Charlie Atlases in training. It's beautiful. That's all I can say. Oh, it's just all day Airwick. Airwick? That's how long Airwick is? So popular, this is where it gets so, it gets somewhat disturbing. Popular health methods, which Vic Tinney found inadequate. Diet method, found inadequate. Diet method alone loses weight all over body, even in places that were all right as they were. Diet method alone removes fat, but skin stays same size, and with no fat below, sags all over. This is the most disturbing. Like, once you realize what you're looking at, it is so horrible. I absolutely hate it. Like, this weird baggy skin suit is so disturbing. Oh my goodness. The exercise method. Exercise method alone develops only the muscles that are exercised, often with very weird results. Never skip leg day. Exercise method alone develops huge appetite, subsequent overeating, and unwanted new muscles. Yeah, that bubble gut. The equipment method alone is inadequate because soft living public is too far gone for machines to help. Oh, I love these muscle men that he's drawing. Vic Tinney's provides facilities dispensing special health foods. It is okay. This panel reads a little bit like those old Wonder Woman, those the Marston Wonder Woman ones, like where she's always like bound up and stuff. Was it William Marston who invented Wonder Woman? So yeah, him pouring liquid in, him shooting liquid in, him. I don't even know what that is. Like pulling a fishbone out of her mouth or something. He's feeding her some beverage. She's drinking some beverage, and look at that. Grandma Moses taking intravenous something juice. I don't know. It's a cool illustration, but it's weird. Vic Tinney provides staff of specially trained instructors, and then specialty equipment. Gosh, people who can draw machines are just amazing. I could have gone for, I'm going to be honest, one more panel of Vic Tinney. That's what I would have wanted. Oh, I get 2 more. Well, I don't have time. But I got to take time. Look at that. Even with trying to like cut my videos down so people can watch more of them, I still screw it up, and I'm still over 30. Some other remarkable case histories analyzed and solved by Vic Tinney experts. Problem: woman's figure prevented movie career. Solved by Vic Tinney. Woman's head too small for her body. Solved by Vic Tinney. Woman's husband refused to be seen with her. Solved by Vic Tinney. He's just handcuffed to her. Oh my God. Oh, it's just lovely. And then look at, you have The Ultimate Dream, and all of these old movie actors, buff as hell. Look at, there's I don't know, Red Skelton, Groucho Marx, Orphan Annie, Dennis the Menace. Is that Frank Sinatra? Who knows? Who cares? Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you liked this, and I hope you're enjoying the somewhat new format of Flippin' Through the Internet's #1 Mad Magazine news review and interview channel. Remember, leave a comment down below if you're enjoying this, if you're hating it, or you know what, if you just want to lift my spirits a little bit. Toodaloo.